In today's video, I will share with you all the different ways that you can tie your Simply scarves around your Simply scarf tote or any other handbag for that matter. If you haven't had a chance to watch my other videos, we just released a Simply scarf collection, which includes 10 exclusive designs. In addition, we released a brand new sewing pattern that goes along with the Simply scarf. So make sure you check out that video. I've also done a sewing tutorial video as well to make this bag right here. Let's begin by folding our scarf corner to corner, wrong sides together. And then we will proceed to fold in that corner to make one long piece of your scarf. Just like that. Now we're going to grab our Simply Scarf tote with the round grommets or the oblong grommets, either way. This is the basic method for tying the scarf. So you're going to feed this from the back side towards the front. Get your tails so that they're even. And give them a good pull. On the inside right here is what it's going to look like. And now all we have to do is tie a knot. And I like to give it 2 ties. And then I just play around with my knot and my tails to get them the way that I like them to look. Just like that, you can do it. So there is that first look. That's the basic way. You could also just leave it tied once like this and looser. You could do it this way. So after I did this pattern, I sat down at the couch one evening. I was tired, but I was super excited to play around with this. So I just sat there while I watched television and experimented with all the different ways that you could do your Simply scarf. So you could do it like this and have it folded over the edge. So there's another look for you. Nice and drapey and swoopy. That's really elegant. And you could play around with the way that this looks and make it bigger, make it smaller by tugging on different portions of the scarf. You can do it like this. I like this method. So pulling it tight, just like we would from the other direction. Bring one of your tails behind the front. Bring in the other tail behind as well. You could leave your tails straight, or you could do a little crisscross with them, like that. And then you can always play around with your tails and rotate them and get them the way that you want them to look. Alternatively, you could take one tail under, one tail over, and then tie a knot with the one that's over around the one that's behind and play around. And then you got a really pretty knot right there. So that's another way of doing it. You could do it this other way here. So I'm going to pull this out and let's see. I'm trying to remember all of the ways that I was playing around with this. So I'm going to go from back to front. And you might have to refold your scarf if you get going and playing with it. And then I want to go through one of my rectangle rings. So I'm going to take this tail, going from back to front through the rectangle ring, and then bringing it this way. I'm going to probably have to rewrap my scarf, but let's just see what this is going to look like. So I'm bringing that so it's taut in the back. And then I'm going to take and beat it from back to front over here. And you can kind of create these little rosettes on the side, like that. Another look, completely different. Then you could do the other way where it's from the front to the back. And we could actually do like a bandana effect if we wanted to with this. Maybe we go through this way, over the edge, and then over the edge. And then we play with our little bandana. So another look. Just continue to play around with it until you get the look that you want. I'm just kind of doing this quickly for the purposes of the video. What else could we do here? We could do it around the straps. So if maybe today you don't feel like having it through the grommets, you could flip the bag around. This could be your front of your bag now. And you could wrap it around your strap. So let me get this refolded. Let's come undone. And we're going to feed this through from behind the rectangle ring to the front and get my tail so it's about even with the bottom of my bag, like this. And then we're going to just continue to wrap the scarf around the bag handle or the shoulder strap. Either way, this is going to work for a shoulder bag or a crossbody bag, either way. And you just go around and wrap the strap. Get this so you can see. Once we get towards the end where we have our tail, we're going to go from the wrong side and we're going to feed it back through. So we kind of loosen up those loops and grab it with our finger and pull it through. You do one and then you go do the other one and you just get it all tucked down in there and we can tighten it up in a minute. And I'm going to feed it through one more. Give it a good tug, and then I'm going to take that little bit and just shove it in there and tuck it inside. And there you have the handle wrap method. Let me move the camera here so you can see it a little better. So there's that look. Another one that we have is on the uptown swing right here. And all we did was we tied it around the grommet and did it kind of like a bow tie. Don't ask me to do it again because I'm never good with not a bow tie, a necktie. I'm never good with that, but you could just do a little simple knot on the side for your uptown swing or any other shoulder bag. You could do it. This is the same thing with the duplicity, so it's tied like that. Okay, this next one, we're going to use our itty bitty bowler with the chain extender because I don't have a bag with a rolled handle. This braided handle method works best on bags with the rolled handles. So just take your scarf and you're going to fold it over. Take this top tail across and around the back of the strap. Bring it back over. Take this top tail down and over and around the strap. And we're just going to continue to braid it just like this. This would also work on a handmade 3/4 inch wide strap as well if you wanted to. And I've also done it on a 1 inch wide strap. I just think that the narrower straps look better. When you get towards the bottom, you're just going to tie a knot with the tails. So there is what she looks like. Now I personally wouldn't put this on a bag with the chain just because it looks a little busy with the chain and the scarf and then the 3/4 inch. But I just wanted to get you an idea of what the braided handle looks like with the scarf. And let's go over one last one. So for this one, we're going to do a little rosette through the rectangle ring right here. So we're going to get our tail and pull that through. And then from here, you just kind of got to go with it. So I'm going to wrap it around the strap itself like this loosely. And then I'm going to put it back down through it itself. And then we're just going to keep playing around and knotting it up a little loosely to create a rosette. And then you have to fluff it out. So you kind of pull everything here out. Pull down on those tails. Here's another look. You could continue to play with it. I just, for the sake of time, I am not going to spend too much time doing it, but I wanted just to give you the general idea of how you can tie your Simply Scarf around your Simply Scarf tote. Now, I of course would do this on the opposite side of this bag since I've got the grommets not being utilized. So I cannot wait to see how you make up your Simply Scarf tote and how you use your Simply Scarves on your bag. So please share them in our Facebook group for inspiration for others. I think this is going to be a really fun project, and you can just really have a lot of fun with a basic bag and dressing it up with a colorful scarf. Purchase your scarf on our website. You'll get that pattern for free with the purchase of the scarf, or you can go ahead and purchase the pattern by itself if you're international or you already have your favorite scarf. I wanted to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, bye-bye.